totally just lost my train of thought. Oh, my thought train fell off the tracks. Hey, this is Megan in the restricted section. Today I'm going to do a first trip to the library sale book haul. The Friends of the Library sale is currently happening right now, and I usually go more than once, so these are just the books that I got on my first trip to the library sale. I plan to go at least one more time before it's over, so, because I definitely need to buy that many books. I don't, but I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, so the first thing I bought was The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. I'm sure you guys know what this is about. This is like a bunch of little stories that take place. There's a man who's got all these tattoos on his skin, and each tattoo is like a different story. I read this in high school. I haven't read it since, but I had a class in high school where the teacher was really into Ray Bradbury, and so we read a bunch of his stuff, and I really liked this book. So then I have She's Not There, A Life in Two Genders by Jennifer Finney Boylan. This is about a trans woman, and this is a memoir about transitioning. So this has been on my TBR list for a while because I was planning to read it for one of my Read Harder challenges last year, but then I never did. I read something else instead, but then I found this, and I still do want to read it, so I picked it up. Then I have Autumn by David Moody. This has been on my TBR list for a really long time as well. This is a zombie novel. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I guess, you know, sounds like a pretty standard zombie novel scenario. World ends, zombies take over. Then I have A Graveyard for Lunatics by Ray Bradbury. I've never read this, and I had never heard of it before, actually. I just kind of found it and thought it might be interesting. So it says it takes place on Halloween in 1954. A young film-obsessed scriptwriter has been hired at one of the great studios. He receives an anonymous invitation. He ends up at an eerie graveyard, and he makes some kind of terrifying discovery. So I'm sure this will be interesting. Then I have Choke by Chuck Palahniuk. I can never say the dude's last name. I read Fight Club, and I was very underwhelmed by Fight Club, and so I decided that I was going to give him another chance. And so this is about this guy who tries to scam people, I guess. He goes to restaurants and pretends to choke on food. And then people send him checks. So there's that. But yeah, I'm going to give this guy another shot and see if I like this any better than Fight Club, because I was very underwhelmed by Fight Club. And I have Planetfall by Emma Newman. I've been wanting to read this for a while too. Yeah, so this is about a group of people who establish a colony off Earth, I guess. Penelopead by Margaret Atwood. And this is it says The Myth of Penelope and Odysseus. So this is the telling of the story by Penelope and to her 12 hanged maids. And it kind of asks what Penelope was really up to, I guess. So I thought this would be kind of cool. I love Margaret Atwood. She's one of my favorites. Then I have A Pleasure to Burn, Fahrenheit 451 Stories by Ray Bradbury. They had a lot of Ray Bradbury, and I was digging it. So, yeah, this is, it was edited by Don Albright and John Eller, and it has 16 different stories and novellas. It's supposed to be a good companion to Fahrenheit 451, so, yeah, I just thought this was, look at the cover of this. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so this is going to be really cool. Like I said, I do really like Ray Bradbury. I read a whole lot of his work in high school. Next, I have The Year of the Flood by Margaret Atwood. I was really stoked to find a couple of books by Margaret Atwood, because sometimes I go and it doesn't seem like I can find much of anything. So this sounds kind of cool. It's a dystopian novel, I do believe. It's about the end of the world. So it says, the times and species have been changing at a rapid rate, and the social compact is wearing as thin as environmental stability. Adam 1, the kindly leader of God's gardeners, a religion devoted to the melding of science and religion, as well as the preservation of all plant and animal life, has long predicted a natural disaster that will alter Earth as we know it. Now it has occurred, obliterating most human life. 2 women have survived. Ren, a young trapeze dancer locked inside the high-end sex club Scales and Tails, and Toby, a God's gardener barricaded inside a luxurious spa where many of the treatments are edible. And it says more, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. But that just sounded really cool. You know, I love me a good dystopian novel or apocalyptic novel. I love those. And I love Margaret Atwood, so... next I have just continued to grow my Toni Morrison collection. I bought A Mercy. This, I guess, is set in the 1680s, and it's about the slave trade. The description on the inside cover says it's almost like a prelude to Beloved, set 2 centuries earlier. So that, I thought, was an interesting description. I loved Beloved. It was so good. And I want to read more Toni Morrison. I really like her writing, and like I said, I love Beloved, so I'm sure this will be really good too. Next I have Dispatches from the Edge by Anderson Cooper. I have a crush on Anderson Cooper. I don't care, I'm not sorry. So I got this because I thought it would be interesting. I just love him. And lastly, I got The Memory Palace, a memoir by Mira Bartok. And I guess this is about her experience with growing up with her mother who has schizophrenia. This was a recommendation from my friend Jamie, and she reads a lot and seems to have very good taste, and this sounded super interesting. So I spent $23.50 on all those books. Thought that was a pretty good deal, but like I said, I'm planning on going back to the library sale because I can't help myself. I like to go on half price day, and I like to go on dollar bag day because I feel like I'm getting away with something. This whole bag of books is only $1, and I feel like I got away with something, so I'm probably going to go back at least one more time. But I have learned from the first time I ever went to the library sale, I went a little bit crazy. I got really excited about all the cheap books, and I just bought a ton of crap that once I got it home, I was like, I don't really want to read this. I have no interest in reading this. So I have learned to be more selective and to chill the fuck out in my library sale purchases. So I'm really happy with what I got, and I'm looking forward to going back. So that is my first round library sale haul, and if you've read any of those books, let me know what you thought of them, or if you want to read them, let me know. I'm not great at the buddy reading thing, but I will give it a go if you're interested. So that's going to be it for me today. There will be some links down below where you can find Sue and I elsewhere on social media if you are so inclined. And if you're not already subscribed to the restricted section, you should do it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.